Hello everyone. In today's session, we shall know how to enhance the skill of using teaching aids. When we talk about the term teaching aid, it means all the teaching accessories used by the teacher to teach in the class. Teaching aids helps in increasing the attention of the learners, thereby making learning easy and interesting. While using the teaching aids, there are some basic points that a teacher needs to take into account. They are: it should be simple, it should be clear, and the teaching aids should be related to the day's topic. Also, the teacher should refer it in an organized and systematic way. By this, we understand that the main focus of the teacher is the learner, and therefore, while selecting the teaching aid or devices, the teacher should understand the level of the learner and accordingly prepare the teaching aid. It should never be complicated and irrelevant. It should be interesting and motivating. It is only then the interest level of the learner will be sustained. The components that comes under this particular skill of using teaching aids are as: it should be relevant to the topic. It implies that the teaching aid used by the teacher must be related. It must be related to the content or the subject matter. The next component is: it is appropriate to the pupil's level. This implies that the teacher must use suitable aids after judging the level of the learner. Coming to the next, creating interest and thinking. In this case, the teaching aids must create interest in learning and understanding of the topic. If the teaching aid is dull, it is not interesting or motivating or appealing for the learner, then definitely it will be of no use. Therefore, the teacher should realize that whether this teaching aid is suitable enough for the learner, whether interest level can be generated among the learner, whether the pupil will be inquisitive enough for the day's class. So the next is proper display. While talking about this component, teaching aids must be displayed in such a manner that the display is clear and visible to all the students in the classroom. In this case, while displaying the teaching aids, the teacher can use a stand or a table. It depends upon the classroom situation. Also, the teaching aid should not be small. The teacher should not use a teaching aid just for the sake of using. The teaching aid is to enhance their teaching. So, it should be visible enough for the pupil. Clear? If it is unclear, if it is not properly displayed, then again it is of no use. Therefore, the teacher needs to take into account that particular teaching aid, whether it will be visible to all the pupils inside the classroom. So coming to the next component is appropriate display and usage. In this case, the teaching aids must be used at the appropriate time so that it doesn't distract the attention of the students later on. Now, in this case, I just would like to point out one thing is that when a teacher carries or a teaching aid, the teacher should at first cover the teaching aid, and when the teacher reaches the point of discussion wherein the teacher has to demonstrate it with the aid of teaching aid, then the teacher can remove the cover and show it to the pupil. Then, having shown and the explanation relating to it is over, what the teacher needs to do is the teacher needs to place that particular teaching aid in the corner or down so that the teacher can continue their teaching and moves on to the next topic or point of discussion, and accordingly the teacher can use example or a different teaching aid. So whichever the teacher is using, that particular teaching aid should be displayed in front of the learner. So the suitability of time, the duration to show the teaching aid should be considered as an important factor while using the teaching aid. I hope this is clear. So this is all about teaching aid. So once the teacher is refined or polished how to use this skill, the teacher can really enhance their teaching. So making use of teaching aid implies that use the teaching aid in the proper time, in the proper moment. The size of the teaching aid should be visible enough. There should be clarity in the display. It should be relevant to what the teacher is talking or explaining. It should never create confusion among the learners. It should be placed in a systematic and in an organized way. Clear? So that's all for today. So see you all next time with another teaching aid. So till then, namaskar, stay fine, stay healthy.